I am back every single day to keep you updated with all of this information, just like what I'm about to share with you in this video right here. Not only that, I am your one and only daily advocate, as I'm back doing everything we possibly can to make sure that we can secure a fourth stimulus check, as well as possibly monthly recurring payments and ultimately permanent raises for benefits like Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, and RRB. So if you like the sound of that, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. And again, feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and social media so we can continue to help out as many people as we can during this very difficult and confusing time. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. Let's get into this list. All right, so just a few days ago, I hosted a live stream. By the way, I love hosting those live streams. It is so much fun to connect with everybody live like that. It's just a really fun time and connect with all of you for a couple hours, just like we did a few evenings ago. So if you were there, thanks again for joining me. And if you went back and watched the replay, again, I hope you enjoyed it. But again, you probably don't need to watch the whole thing. It's over 2 hours long, but either way, pretty fun stuff. All right, but anyway, one of the questions that I got numerous times within that live stream was, what are the states that are actually issuing state stimulus checks? For example, many people are reaching out saying, hey, what about Oklahoma? Do we get a state stimulus check? What about Tennessee? What about Texas? What about Florida? Or what about Ohio? You know what I mean? There are many different states. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you. There's a lot of different things going on right now. I need to brush up on all of these programs out there, and I will bring a dedicated video to you soon. Well, this is the video, okay? So I've gone through the list, and we've compiled the list of all the state stimulus checks, otherwise state programs that are going on right now, sending out money to certain groups of people. So we're going to lay that list out to you here in just a second. However, I want to also mention, there's a lot of programs going on the state level. Let me lay them out really quickly, and then we'll get into that dedicated list of the state stimulus check programs. So here's the thing. Back in about the late or the second half of June, all through July and early August, there were numerous different lotteries and sweepstakes. Do you remember that? Those things were popping up all over the place back in those couple months there, and then they all kind of disappeared. So for the most part, lotteries and sweepstakes, even though there were a ton of those programs on the state level, those are pretty much done across the board. The prizes have been awarded, and they're pretty much done for the most part as of right now. There were also hiring bonuses. Do you remember this one? There were multiple different states out there offering hiring bonuses for anybody who wanted to work full-time and or part-time. So here's the thing. One example being Arizona. They were offering a $2,000 hiring bonus for anybody who wanted to work full-time, or a $1,000 hiring bonus for anybody who wanted to work part-time. Montana also had a program, and there were also multiple other states out there who had hiring bonuses. So yeah, a lot of money going out there. Now we also need to remember there are still currently, as of right now, numerous UBI and GBI programs, otherwise known as Universal Basic Income and Guaranteed Basic Income programs on the state level, on the county level, on the city level, and on the locality level that are going on literally right now, that are sending out monthly checks for certain groups of people. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things going on the state level right now, right? It's very busy, and a lot of times it's kind of hard to keep all these things straight because they're coming, they're going, there's more popping up literally every single week. So either way, let's get into it and discuss this list of all of these stimulus check and stimulus programs going out there for specific groups of people. And then again, I will catch you on the other side. But one more thing, if you watched my video from this morning, you saw that in that video that the Labor Department was recently out, I believe it was yesterday actually, they were out with this statement saying that states can offer one-time or like one-off payments and or recurring payments, like occasional payments to residents in states. So this was the Labor Department making this statement. So in other words, the Labor Department is basically endorsing like, hey, states, if you guys have some extra money laying around, feel free, by all means, send it out as one-time payments, or you can send it out as occasional payments to your residents. So this could be opening up the door for many more of these programs to start popping up. Make sense? So yeah, go back and check out that video from this morning. If you didn't see it yet, there's some pretty good information in there, some major news that was recently announced yesterday and again this morning. All right. So that being said, I'm going to bring my wife in, Corey. She's going to read this list to you of all of these state stimulus check programs and state programs that are offering additional money for certain groups of people. So with that being said, Corey, take it away, and I'll see all of you again in just a minute, and we can go through it a little bit further. All right, Corey, take it away.
State stimulus checks. California, the Golden State Stimulus Check. $600 for nearly 27 million California residents. Income is under $75,000. Those are the people who qualify. Colorado. Residents who receive at least one unemployment check between March 15th and October 24th, 2020 will get $375. Maryland. $500 for couples and $300 for individuals who file for the EITC. New Mexico. $5 million for residents who didn't qualify for the federal stimulus checks. Florida. Teachers and administrators and first responders will get $1,000. Georgia. Full-time teachers and administrators will get $1,000, and part-time teachers will get $500. Michigan. $500 hazard pay to teachers. New York. $2.1 billion available for undocumented workers who were not eligible for the federal payment. In order to qualify, you must have earned under $26,280 in 2020. In Tennessee, $1,000 checks for full-time teachers and $500 checks for part-time teachers.
All right, so there is the list. As you can see, a lot of these programs encompass bonus pay in the form of $1,000 for like teachers, administrators, and first responders. So that's like the bulk of these programs that are going on right now. However, there are some of these other programs that are sprinkled in as far as state stimulus checks. For example, like Colorado, the $375 if somebody received unemployment benefits during that certain window. California, by far, is the biggest one of these programs. Nearly 27 million people are going to be receiving those $600 checks as a function of the Golden State Stimulus Check in the state of California. By the way, those will be going out here over the next couple weeks here. So watch out for those. They should be going out relatively soon. But yes, this is more of an extension of the Golden State Stimulus, like Golden State Stimulus Check Part 2 kind of thing, because it was actually extended out. The first check, as far as part of the Golden State Stimulus checks, actually went out, I believe, back in like March and April of this year. So now this is the second portion as the governor signed that big $100 million+ package just not that long ago, a few weeks ago. He signed this thing into law. So now the second portion of these Golden State Stimulus checks will be going out in just a couple weeks here. But as you can see, by the way, there's a handful of states. I mean, how many states were there? I honestly didn't even count. Maybe like 8 or 9 states, something like that right there that we read off in that list. So there's not a ton, but at the same time, there are a number of them. But it's interesting to see this because I'm curious to see now that the Labor Department has told basically states, hey, you can send out one-off payments and or occasional payments to residents. Makes me wonder, are states going to step up here pretty soon and start issuing more of these payments? Because remember, states have $350 billion that was distributed a short time ago as a result of the American Rescue Plan, which is otherwise known as the last stimulus package that also housed the $1,400 stimulus checks. So it makes me wonder if a lot more of these programs will start popping up relatively soon, since states have literally a surplus of billions of dollars that they need to start sending out. So that'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. We also need to remember, during this time right now, they are still working on, as in Congress, this $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. So again, they're working on that one. Meanwhile, all these other programs are going on at the same time. It's good that all these programs are going on the state level, but let's be real. They're not good enough, right? It's not quite enough. It's good that something is happening, but realistically, we need the federal government, as in Congress, like the Congress right here in the United States. We need them to step forward and start issuing more relief during this time. In fact, I saw a report. I had no plans on talking about this, but I'll just mention it briefly. I saw that consumer sentiment, in other words, like us, the consumers, our sentiment as far as like confidence and things like that, as far as the economy, has really dropped off lately with the surging cases of this Delta variant going around lately. So that's not necessarily a good thing if you're an economist or somebody watching out on the United States economy. When you see sentiment starting to kind of drop off and confidence kind of starting to wane a little bit, you're thinking, this isn't so good, because ultimately, if we don't feel comfortable, if we're not confident, and sentiment starts to reverse a little bit, that just means less dollars, less of our money going out being spent on goods and services, when ultimately They want us to get out there and spend as much money as we can because they want us to stimulate the economy, right? It's kind of the whole purpose. That's why interest rates are so incredibly low right now, because they want us to borrow money and spend it. That's exactly why they do it. They lower interest rates basically down to zero to entice us to go out and get money so that we can spend it and stimulate the economy. That's why they do that in times of economic contraction like what we're in, or what we were in. I mean, depends on who you ask and depends on what numbers you look at. You know, the economy is kind of all over the board. But either way, these are the programs that are going on right now. So, of course, I will continue to watch all of this very, very closely as we get more details on any of these programs, or as more of these start popping up, whether it's a state stimulus check, whether it's a bonus program, whether it's a UBI or GBI program, anything else that pops up. Trust me, I'll be the first one right here. I'll lay it all out for you. I'll tell you what you need to do in order to get it, if you need to do anything, or just be present, right? That's kind of the cool thing too. But either way, I will lay it all out. I do all the research right here, and I deliver it to you in these short videos so that you don't need to. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's very confusing. It's a very difficult time. I completely understand. It's tough out there. So I do all this research and lay it all out so that you don't need to worry about it. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you're subscribed to Thank you again for your support. I really appreciate it. And I hope this answers the question for many of you who have been asking in the live stream just the other day. So I'll continue to keep you posted as we get more information. Thanks again for your support. I truly appreciate it. And I will see you again later in the next video.